The encounter in the dead zone, the wind was dry. Dust covered everything. Old alien machines lay broken on the ground, like bones from a forgotten war. A man walked alone through the ruins. His name was Ray, a human scavenger. He wore a thick coat, a gas mask, and a backpack full of tools. His job was simple: find alien tech, sell it, survive another day. Ray had seen many strange things before: dead aliens, strange weapons, glowing rocks. But this place felt different. Quiet, too quiet. He walked past a huge metal ship, half buried in the sand. Its body was cracked open. Burn marks were everywhere. Something terrible had happened here. Maybe years ago. Maybe yesterday. Ray stepped inside the wreck. His flashlight showed broken wires and dry blood. As he moved forward, he heard a faint sound. A soft, wet cough. He stopped. "Is someone there?" Kay said. No answer. He moved slowly, holding his flashlight like a weapon. Then he saw something. Small hands sticking out from a pile of metal. It moved. Ray rushed over and pulled off the junk. What he saw made him freeze. It was a girl, or maybe not just a girl. She looked young, maybe 18 or 19, but her skin was gray, covered in dirt and blood. Strange blue lines ran across her arms like tattoos. Her eyes were big and dark, like the stars in deep space. Her hair was full of sand and wires. She was half-alien. Ray took a step back. "What the hell are you?" The girl opened her eyes slowly. Her lips trembled. She looked weak, dying. Then she whispered, "If you wash me, ... make me clean. I'll bear you strong children, human." Ray blinked. "What?" The girl coughed again. "Please, clean me." Ray didn't know what to do. Was this a trap? A trick? He looked around. No one else was here. Just him and her. He looked down at her again. She was badly hurt. Not from battle. It looked like she had been running for a long time, hiding. Her body was shaking. She tried to sit up, but fell back. Ray sighed. Damn it. He picked her up. She was light, like she had not eaten for days. He carried her outside, put her on his hoverbike, and drove away fast. Ray's shelter was hidden inside an old bunker. It was cold, dark, and safe. He placed the alien girl on a metal bed. She didn't speak again. Just lay there, breathing slow and shallow. Ray filled a bucket with water and grabbed a clean cloth. T sat beside her. "I don't know who you are," he said, "but you better not kill me." He dipped the cloth in water and touched her face. The dirt came off slowly, revealing smooth silver-gray skin. As he cleaned more, her face began to glow faintly. She opened her eyes and stared at him. "You are not like the others." Ray laughed. "Yeah, I get that a lot." "You have something inside you," she said. "A key. A code. That's why I called to you." Ray stopped. "Called to me. I waited. ... in the ship. I was dying, but I saw your signal. You came." Ray didn't understand. She was talking. Like a dream, like something ancient or crazy. He kept cleaning her arms, brushing away layers of old mud. Then he saw its symbols, glowing ones, moving slightly under her skin, like living tattoos. What the hell? She whispered, "You are cleaning me. That is good, but you must finish it." Ray leaned closer. "Why?" Her voice was calm, but serious. "Because once I am clean, I will awaken. And then, the others will come." Ray frowned. "Others?" She didn't answer. Her head dropped. She had passed out again. Ray sat back in the chair, cloth in hand, heart racing. He looked at her, sleeping now, still glowing faintly. He didn't believe in fate, or aliens being kind, or magic blood and ancient codes. But tonight, something had. changed. He wasn't just a scavenger anymore. Something big had begun. Asterisk. The alien girl slept for hours. Ray watched her from across the bunker, sitting on an old metal chair. He had not slept. His thoughts were loud. The girl's words kept repeating. In his mind, if you wash me, I'll awaken. The others will come. What did it mean? Who were the others? And what did she mean by bare, strong children? Ray had seen aliens before dead ones, soldiers, machines. But she was different. Alive, soft, scared, but also dangerous. The next morning, Ray stood beside her again. She was still weak, but breathing better. The soft glow on her skin had grown stronger. Her face was calm now. The glowing tattoos on her arms had spread up to her shoulders. Ray whispered, "Time to finish what I started." He filled a large metal bowl with clean water. He took a soft brush and sponge and began cleaning her legs and back carefully. As he washed her, the dirt came off like layers of history. Underneath the mud, more glowing marks appeared like a map, symbols, circles, lines that looked like a star system then. Her eyes opened. "You're doing it," she said, voice soft. "The cleansing, it is working." Ray stepped back. "What are these symbols? Why are they glowing?" "They are not just symbols," she replied. "They are memories." "Whose memories?" "Ours, yours, and mine." Ray looked confused. "We've never met before." She sat up slowly. Her strength was returning. "Not in this life, but your DNA carries old code. Forbidden code, human, and something older." Ray's face went pale. "You're not making sense." She placed her hand on her chest. "My name is Ciara. I was born inside the core deep, inside the mother world. I was made to create warriors, but I ran. I didn't want to be used." Ray stared at her, speechless. Ciara continued. "They called me dirty because I rejected the bond. I wanted to choose my mate, not be forced. Then I saw your signal. I followed your trail. You tracked me." "No," she said. "I felt you. My body responded to your presence. You're not a normal human." Ray laughed nervously. "I'm just a guy who fixes machines and sells junk." "No, you're something else. You cleaned me, and now I'm becoming whole again." Suddenly, an alarm beeped. Ray turned to his monitor. A motion sensor had picked up movement just outside the bunker. "Stay here," he said. Grabbing his pulse gun, Ray moved to the entrance, slowly. He pressed his ear to the metal door. Scrape, tap, clink. Something was moving out there. He peeked through a small crack and froze. A machine drone. Black, spider-like, scanning the ground with red lasers. It was not human, not friendly. He rushed. "Back. We have a problem." Ciara's eyes narrowed. "It found me. That means others are coming. What does it want? Me? Alive or dead?" Ray grabbed his gear fast. "We need to leave. I know a place deep tunnels. Old tech zone." Ciara stood up, legs shaking. "If I go out now, I'll lose energy, then I'll carry you." She looked at him strangely. "You would risk yourself for me?" Ray shrugged. "I've already washed you. Might as well finish the job." Ray carried her on his back, wrapped in a cloak. They rode the hoverbike through rocky paths and deep shadows. Behind them, in the sky, more drones flew in formation. Something had begun. They reached an old underground tech vault. The air smelled like rust and old fuel. Ray turned on a solar light. Dust floated like snow in the air. Ciara sat on a broken console, breathing hard. Ray looked at her. "Why did you really choose me?" She smiled, but it was sad. "'Cause I saw mercy in you. In a world that lost its soul, you still had some. I'm not a hero. You don't need to be. You just need to survive. And protect me until I'm ready. Ready for what? She looked into his eyes. To create the next generation. Ray didn't respond. He turned away, confused and afraid. He thought he was just a scavenger. But now, he was in the middle of something ancient, something powerful. He didn't trust her fully, but deep inside, he knew something connected them, and something much worse was coming. The war was not over. It had only just begun. Ray had questions. Too many questions, but Ciara just sat quietly in the corner of the vault. Her legs crossed, her hands glowing with soft golden light. Small symbols floated around her fingers like dust in the air. Alien language. Living code. Ray had seen strange things before, but this was different. She wasn't just using tech, she was the tech. Ray finally spoke. You said you were from the core. What is that? Ciara opened her eyes. They glowed white for a second before fading back to black. The core is not a place. It is a bloodline. A living system inside the greatest city of my world. Only chosen females are born with core cells. We are the source. We give life to armies. Ray sat down, holding a cup of water in his hand. So you're... What? Like a queen? No, she said. A tool. A seed bank. They called me a sacred mother, but I was just a machine to them. Ray blinked. But you ran away. Yes. Her voice turned cold. I refused to mate with the champion they chose. He was cruel. A killer. I did not want to give him children. So I escaped. They called me dirty, broken. A shame to the bloodline. And then, you found me. I found your signal. The beacon you repaired in the ruins, it carried your DNA. The code inside you is old, very old. It woke something. Inside me, Ray frowned. I'm just a human, a scavenger. You are human, she said. But your blood is mixed with a forgotten line. Your ancestors touched the stars long ago. Ray felt like the ground had moved under him. He stood up, pacing. So now what? You stay here forever. Hide from the others. Ciara shook her head. I cannot hide for long. Once I am fully clean, the core inside me will activate. When that happens, they will come for me, fast. Ray walked to the vault door and looked outside. The desert sky was turning dark. Storm clouds were forming, but this storm wasn't natural. The air buzzed. Something was coming. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed through the tunnels. The vault lights flickered. Ray grabbed his weapon. Then the door exploded. Ah! Tall figure stepped through the smoke. Not a drone this time, but a living creature. It was 7 feet tall, wearing black armor with red lights. Its face was hidden by a mask. Its hands crackled with blue energy. Ciara stood up slowly. Ray aimed. His gun. Who the hell is that? Ciara's voice was firm. A hunter. From the core guard. The armored figure spoke in a deep, metallic voice. Ciara of the core, you will return. The seed must be purified. Ray fired. The bullet hit the armor. No damage. The hunter raised his hand and fired a shockwave. Ray flew backward, hit the wall, and blacked out. When Ray opened his eyes, he was on the ground. The air was thick with smoke and sparks. He looked up. Ciara stood between him and the hunter. Her hands raised. She was glowing. Not just her tattoos, but her whole body. Her hair floated like it was underwater. Her voice shook the walls. You will not take me. I choose my future. I choose him. A wave of light burst from her body. The hunter screamed as his armor cracked and shattered. He fell to the ground, twitching, then stopped moving. Silence. Ray coughed and stood up. You killed him? No, she said. I freed him. He was bound to the core. Now he is at peace. Ray looked at her really. Looked. She wasn't the weak girl he found in the ruins anymore. She stood tall, strong, eyes glowing. Skin? Silver. A living weapon? He asked. What are you becoming? She looked at him and smiled. I am becoming whole. Ray sat down, tired. This is too much. I was just looking for scrap, not destiny. Ciara walked over, kneeling beside him. Your path has changed. You have a choice now. What choice? You can walk away. Forget me. Go back to the wastelands. Or stay. Help me awaken fully. And together, we can start something new. Ray laughed bitterly. Start what? She touched his hand. A future. He didn't answer right away, but something in his chest felt different, like a door opening. He had spent his life walking through ruins, collecting broken things. Now, maybe, he'd found something worth building. Outside, in the sky, more lights appeared. Ships, drones, coming fast. Ciara's glow faded. She whispered, we must go deeper. There is an old place below the core vault, a hidden chamber. If I reach it, I can awaken fully. Ray stood up. Then, let's go. But next time, you better explain what strong children really means. Ciara smiled. You'll see. Soon, they vanished into the dark, running deeper into the earth above them. The war had begun again, but below something far greater was about to wake. The air underground was colder. Older Ray and Ciara walked through a long, dark tunnel. Strange vines covered the walls, glowing softly in green and gold. The silence here was different. It felt like something was watching them. Ray held a light, scanning the path ahead. This place? It wasn't on any map. Ciara nodded. It's not meant to be. This is a hidden chamber. Only the core bonded know the way. Ray looked back. Are we safe down here? No, she said calmly. We're never safe now. But this is where the ritual must begin. They reached a massive metal door round, rusted, covered in symbols. Ciara placed her hand on it. The marks on her skin lit up, and the door opened with a deep hum. Inside was a circular room. In the center stood a stone platform surrounded by water. Not just any water, it glowed softly like starlight trapped in liquid. Ray stepped closer. What is this? Ciara stared into the water. This is memory water. It's part of the clean ritual. Ray raised an eyebrow. What kind of ritual are we talking about? She looked at him, serious. The core bonded are born with ancient cells. Dirty cells, they say. We must be washed not only our skin, but our soul, our memories. Only then can our power fully awaken. Ray crossed his arms. I already cleaned you. Twice, she smiled. You cleaned my body. Now, I must cleanse my blood. Ciara removed her outer cloak. Underneath, she wore a thin suit marked with more glowing lines. She stepped into the water slowly. As it touched her skin, the glow became stronger. The lines began to move, sliding across her body like flowing code. She knelt in the center of the pool. Her eyes closed. Ray stood at the edge, watching. He wanted to ask more questions, but something stopped him. The room was changing. A low hum began to vibrate in the air. Symbols on the walls came to life. Light danced along the stone. It felt like time itself had slowed. Ciara whispered in an ancient tongue. Then she opened her eyes and spoke clearly. You must help me. I cannot finish this alone. Ray stepped back. Help how? I don't even know what I'm doing. You don't need to understand, she said. You only need to feel. Ray hesitated, then removed his boots and stepped into the water. It was warm. No. More than warm. It felt alive as Ray moved closer to her. The water around them swirled. A deep, soft voice echoed in his mind, not his own. not hers, but something ancient. Two lights, tangled in broken time, shall merge and rise. Suddenly, his arm lit up, faint blue lines forming under his skin. Just like Ciara's. Ray looked down, confused. What's happening to me? Ciara placed her hands on his chest. Your code is awakening. The core inside me recognizes you. I'm not one of you. No, she whispered. You're something. Older. The water around them lifted into the air like floating mist. Symbols appeared above their heads, slowly spinning. Their foreheads touched. For a moment, everything went quiet, and then a flash. Ray saw visions, not dreams, memories. He saw a world made of crystal towers. He saw humans in silver armor walking. Beside tall alien queens, he saw a child with glowing eyes. Calling him father, he gasped, stepping back. What was that? Ciara's voice trembled. A glimpse of what we will create, if we survive. The glow faded. The water calmed. Ray stood in silence, breathing hard. So, now what? Ciara stepped out of the water, her body shining with golden light. Her tattoos had changed shape now. They formed a spiral across her back and chest. Her eyes had turned bright silver. She was no longer just part-alien. She was something new. Then the ground shook. Lights on the wall turned red. Ray grabbed his gear. What now? Ciara closed her eyes. The ritual sent a pulse. They know I've awakened. The core council will come. How long do we have? She opened her eyes. Not long. Suddenly, a hidden panel opened in the wall. A black orb floated out and scanned both of them. Then it spoke in a soft voice. Ciara. Status, clean. Core bond, complete. Hybrid seed, viable. Ray blinked. Did it just say seed? Ciara looked at him calmly. Yes. Wait. Does that mean I'm weir? She tilted her head. You helped complete the bond. Now, I can carry the new code. But the child is not born from flesh. It is born from fusion, and the machine will build it. Ray sat down slowly. This is a lot. Outside the chamber, heavy footsteps echoed, metal, many. Of them, Ciara looked toward the door. They're here. Ray stood. Then let's finish this. What do we do? She looked at him, fully awake, fully clean. We fight together. Because what grows inside this place, can change the future. Ray nodded. No more running, no more hiding. The ritual was done. Now came the war. The silence was broken by the sound of marching metal far above the chamber. Deep in the desert sky, black clouds spun unnaturally. Thunder rumbled not from nature, but from machines. Ciara felt it first. Her skin pulsed with heat. Her heart raced like drums. They are here, she whispered. Ray looked at her, eyes wide. Who exactly? She turned to him. The core purifiers. My old world's cleansing force. They come when a seed goes rogue. Ray gritted his teeth. And I guess you're the rogue. Ciara smiled faintly. And you're the reason. Above ground, dark figures dropped from silent ships. Their armor reflected no light. They moved. Like shadows, no sound, no mercy. Each one carried a weapon called a pulse, spine designed to shatter matter and memory. They weren't soldiers, they were erasers. Inside the chamber, Ray and Ciara stood near the hybrid seed machine, silver. Pod now glowing softly, pulsing with warm blue light. Ciara pressed her palm to the pod. It needs more time. How much? Ray asked. She didn't answer, which meant not enough. Suddenly, the chamber trembled. A deep thud. Then another. The purifiers were breaking through the outer layers of the vault. Ray loaded his pulse rifle. If they touch that seed, everything we did is wasted. Ciara walked to a hidden panel and pressed her fingers to it. A section of the wall shifted open, revealing strange suits, part armor, part living cloth. "For you," she said. Ray stared. "You expect me to wear alien armor? You want to live?" she replied. He didn't argue. Moments later, Ray stood dressed in smooth black-blue armor, lightweight but strong. His vision was sharper. His body felt faster. Ciara wore a white and gold version. The lines on her skin merged with the suit-like roots into soil. She looked like something out of a legend, or maybe something becoming one. Boom! The main tunnel collapsed. One of the purifiers had broken through. Its body was massive, 8 feet tall. Forearms, face covered with a crystal mask. A cold voice echoed from it. "Target locked, seed-bearer and anomaly male. Erasure required." Ray stepped forward, weapon ready. "I'm not just some anomaly." The purifier aimed, but Ciara moved first. She didn't run. She glided. Her feet never fully touched the ground. She raised her hand, and a sharp beam of light shot out, slicing through the air. The purifier dodged. Fast, but not fast enough, Sleth's left arm hit the wall with a crash. Ray fired next 3. Clean shots. The shots didn't kill the purifier, but pushed it back. Ciara yelled, "We must protect the seed. Nothing else matters." The battle had begun in every corner of the chamber. Enemies dropped in silent, deadly. But Ray and Ciara fought like fire and wind. She danced between attacks, energy flying from her hands. He moved with perfect timing, like her instincts had synced with his. It wasn't just fighting, it was flow. One purifier made it close to the pod. Ray saw it too late. It raised its blade, but Ciara screamed, not a normal scream, but something ancient. Her voice split the air. The blade shattered before it could strike. Ciara collapsed to one knee, panting. Her glow flickered. Ray rushed to her side. "Are you okay?" "I used too much," she whispered. "They're trying to drain me. I can't." Ray looked at the pod. The blue light was flickering, like a heartbeat slowing down. He placed his hand on it, and something happened. The pod responded. Lines of light moved from his palm into the shell. His veins glowed again. The pod pulsed once, twice, then brighter than before. Ciara gasped. "You activated it." Kai didn't move. "I didn't mean to." "No," she said. "You were meant to." Ka. Above, the chamber ceiling cracked. More. Enemies dropped down. They were losing ground. Ciara stood again, her hands shaking. "We need to finish this." Ray turned to the pod. "Then do it. Whatever you have to." She walked to the control console. Her hand hovered over a black crystal. "If I use this, I give it everything. My code, my core. I will disappear." Ray's voice cracked. "No. There has to be another way." "There isn't." She turned to him. "I was born to give life, Kema, but now I choose who I give it to. I choose why. This time, it's not for war, it's for hope." She smiled sadly. "You washed me. You made me clean." She pressed her hand down. A blinding light filled the room. The purifiers screamed and fell back. The pod opened. Inside was not a child, not yet, but a being of light and coda, spark of something new. It floated, calm between Ray and Ciara. It looked at them both and said in a soft, genderless voice, "Mother, Father." Ray fell to his knees. Ciara collapsed. The glow around her faded. Ray crawled to her side. "Ciara." She opened her eyes one last time. "You're not just a scavenger anymore," she whispered. You're the beginning. Then she closed her eyes and was gone. The child floated closer. Its body shifted half human, half alien, glowing with the same lines Ray now had on his arm. Outside, the machines fled inside. The future had just taken its first breath. Asterisk, everything was quiet now. The sound of machines. The echo of battle. The light from the broken ceiling gone. Ray sat on the cold floor, holding Ciara's lifeless body. Her skin no longer glowed. The core lines had faded. She looked human now, peaceful, as if she had finally escaped everything chasing her. Beside him floated the child, not a baby, not a machine. Something else. Its skin shimmered like liquid silver. Its eyes were large and soft, glowing with quiet light. No mouth. No nose, but somehow, it smiled. It spoke in Ray's mind, not with sound, but with feeling. You are. Father Ray looked up slowly. What are you? The being turned to him, tilting its head. I am seed spark. I am memory. And future. Ray stood. His legs shook. Ciara gave everything to make you. The child floated closer. She gave hope. She gave choice. That is how I live. They stood together in the empty chamber. Everything felt heavier now. Not from fear, from meaning. Ray had been just a scavenger, a survivor in a dead world. But now? Now, he carried something. Sacred. The hybrid child pointed toward the broken wall. More will come. Not like the others. They are afraid now. Ray clenched his fists. Afraid of you? No, the child said. Afraid of us. Ray picked up his gear. Then, carefully, he lifted Ciara's body and placed her in a clear pod at the side of the chamber. The machine sealed her gently, preserving her form. He bowed his head. You chose me. Now I choose to protect what you made. The child floated beside him. The core cannot erase what has already sparked. My signal will spread. To who? Ray asked. To others. Sleeping sparks. Hidden bloodlines. You are not the only one. Ray froze. There are more like me. The child nodded. Many. Above ground, a storm brewed. Ships moved across the sky, searching, watching. But they did not attack. Not anymore. They had seen something new, something they didn't understand, and that made them afraid. Ray and the child walked through a long tunnel one Ciara had shown him in a vision. It led deep beneath the wastelands, below the ruins of a city long lost to war. They walked for hours. Ray didn't speak. The child hummed softly. Its voice calmed the space around them. Machines hidden in the walls turned on. Lights flickered. Scanners blinked old tech, responding to something familiar. The core code, but not pure, mixed, hybrid. And it worked better than before. They reached a room shaped like a dome. Dozens of chairs surrounded a platform. Above it floated a large black crystal, cracked, forgotten, but alive. The child flew to it. This place was once a meeting ground. A council of many species. Ray looked around. Now it's just bones and dust. No, said the child. They will return, once they feel the new signal. Ray sat down slowly. He looked at the cracks in his gloves, the burns on his skin, the glow still faint on his arm. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. The child floated above his head. You protect the spark. You carry memory. You speak for those who were silenced. Ray laughed, tired. So I'm a messenger now. The child nodded. A protector, a builder of the next beginning. Ray looked up at the crystal. Inside it, he saw a faint reflection of Ciara's face. For a moment, he felt her warmth, her trust, her choice. Then the crystal spoke, not in words, but in light. Images floated in the air, Other humans, other aliens, old cities, battles. Then it showed seeds, floating in space, hidden in caves, protected by time. Ray stared. What are those? The child turned to him. The others. They are waiting for someone brave enough to wake them. Ray took a deep breath. The scavenger life was behind him now, in front of him. Stood a mission not to destroy, not to conquer, but to build again. A new world with new life, and the blood of both stars and soil. The hybrid spark floated beside him, glowing brighter now. Together, they stepped forward into the light of the crystal chamber, and the signal went out. Across the sky, across the galaxy, the age of purity was ending. The age of fusion had begun. The stars above the wasteland were no longer silent. From far-off skies, signals whispered across systems. From hidden satellites, sleeping machines woke. From buried ruins, eyes opened, watching, calculating. The spark had been lit, and the galaxy was listening. Ray stood at the edge of a cliff, high above the desert. The wind blew around him, carrying the dust of 1,000 forgotten wars. Beside him floated the hybrid spark, small, glowing, peaceful dot below them. The core ships circled the skies like vultures, but they did not come down. Not now, not after. What they saw, Ray still wore the alien armor, cracked and dusted. His weapon was slung across his back, but he hadn't used it since Sierra fell. Something had changed in him. He wasn't a scavenger anymore. He was part of something bigger. The child turned to him, eyes bright with light. Are you afraid? Ray chuckled, only of messing this up. You won't, the child replied. You carry to flames now, the human will. The core blood, that makes you something new. Ray looked out across the desert. And what about you? What will you become? The child paused, then smiled, not with lips, but with light. I will become what the galaxy needs next. They returned to the vault, not as hiding place now, but as a beacon. Together, they activated the ancient machine buried beneath the chamber. It rose slowly, part tower, part antenna, part living crystal. It pulsed once, then twice. Then it sang, not in sound, but in signal. A new code across all channels. Neither fully alien, nor fully human. A perfect in-between. The hybrid song on distant worlds. Hidden labs lit up in underground cities. Sleeping cores buzzed to life. In space stations forgotten by time. Old captains felt something strange in their chest, a warmth they hadn't felt in decades. Hope, real hope. Ray watched the light rise into the sky. What happens now? The child looked at him gently. Now, they come. And they did first. The refugees. From both sides, humans tired of war. Aliens tired of control. They came to the beacon following the signal. Not as enemies, but as beginnings. Then came the sleepers, those who had ancient code in their blood, but never knew it. Farmers, mechanics, old soldiers, orphans. The hybrid spark touched each one, and the light inside them answered within weeks. The vault became a Kari. The vault became a sanctuary, not a temple, not a throne, a cradle. Here, new ideas were born, new families, new futures. Ray built things again, but not for sale. For purpose. He taught others how to mix core tech with human instinct. He fixed broken machines and broken hearts. He raised the hybrid spark like a child. Though it was far more, they spoke less with words now. They simply knew each other, father, child, friend. One quiet evening, Ray stood again by Sajara's pod. Her face still looked calm, untouched by time. I wish you could see it, he whispered. She does, the spark said behind him. She lives in me, and in you. Ray nodded, wiping his eyes. You think the galaxy will really change? It already has. the child said. The moment you chose mercy instead of power. In the final weeks of the cycle, the signal spread even further past the nearest moons, past trading zones, into core space itself, and something strange happened. The core did not attack. They listened for the first time in thousands of years. They felt unsure because the hybrid spark was not born from force. It was born from choice, and choice is more dangerous than war. One day, the spark grew quiet. It floated high above the sanctuary tower and began to glow brighter than ever before. Ray ran out, others behind him. Is something wrong? He called. No, said the child. This is the moment you feared. Ray stepped forward. Are you leaving me? I was never meant to stay forever, it replied. I was meant to begin. Its body pulsed once more, then split into thousands of tiny lights. Each light flew in a different direction, carrying the hybrid code to worlds unknown. Ray fell to his knees, eyes wide. The spark was gone, but its voice remained, in the wind, in the stone, in the stars. Years passed. Ray grew older. The sanctuary grew. Larger stories spread. Legends were told of the girl from the core, of the man who washed her clean, of the child born from hope, and of a spark that would never die. Because from dust and silence, from blood and choice, from mercy and love, a new galaxy had been born.